Today we're going to talk about talking on the field. You always hear the coach say, talk girls, talk boys, kids, talk. What does that even mean? Usually the players just repeat the player with the ball's name over and over again while standing still and not going anywhere. But really we're talking about communicating. And in order to communicate, you have to know something. And the thing you have to know is the game of soccer. You have to have a good understanding. So kids that have a good understanding of the game communicate better. For instance, if a player gets the ball and there's nobody on them, you might yell, time, which tells the player, look, don't panic. There's nobody there. You have time. Or you might overlap the player. Some player is running around behind and they might say, overlap right. And then the player knows to look to the right and see the player coming around. Little things like that make a big difference. And where your kids should learn that is from the coach during practice. If during practice they learn what the coach intends them to do, and then they can communicate that onto the field, they will communicate better, they will play better, because soccer is a team game. It's a game where everybody communicates what they're doing so somebody else knows what to do. Communicating is so important that even in a tryout, you should tell your son or your daughter, go out there and tell the player with the ball what you're doing, even if you don't have the ball. Usually in tryouts, everybody's grabbing the ball and dribbling the heck out of the ball until they lose it. But if you see a player directing people around the field, making runs, getting behind, doing all of these great things and communicating it, coaches will pick that up and say, you know what, I need a player like that on the field that knows the game. So without even touching the ball, you might make the team. So think about that. But just randomly yelling the name of a player, what do you think that's doing to the player with the ball? They just are overwhelmed and panicked. And sadly enough, that even happens in older games if the players aren't developed and they don't understand the game. And I'm going to show you some examples of that. As you just heard, somebody was yelling, Lily, 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 calling for the ball. That was number 17, who, by the way, has 3 defenders in front of her. So there's no way the ball was going to go there. She's also dribbling the other way, away from her. Over here, there's a man on. And all the way up at the top, there's an open player. Everybody should have recognized that. And if the other players wanted to yell something, they could have said up top, something like that. A simple instruction that would instruct her to send it to that player. Now, if all the players understood what was going on because they're all facing the same way, everybody sees it, it could have been special. Unfortunately, there was a terrible touch and the ball was given away. In the meantime, now you can really enjoy watching your kids out there killing it because they know how to communicate. Well, if you liked the video today and you want to see me make more similar videos, just like and subscribe. Also, I'd like you to give me any suggestions that you have of something that you'd like me to discuss. That would be great. In the meantime, make sure your kids are ready to play.